today's topic is to talk about the traits, what we've seen around the world in businesses that are making an impact for Christ, and we want to figure out what do they have in common. It's a little bit of the Jim Collins study method, right? Look at the companies that are getting it done, and what do they have in common? What do we see as some of the characteristics and trait? Just so the audience will know, Larry, and you and I talked about this earlier. Some of our examples, we may tell you who they are and where they are. Some of our examples, we won't tell you who they are, and we may not get any more detail than saying somewhere in Southeast Asia because they're working in areas that are closed and restricted and dangerous. And so we're going to be very, very respectful of that. And so any of you that are looking for, well, you didn't tell me who that was. Well, there's a reason we didn't tell you who that was, and you just have to live with it. So Larry, you've been studying, and I'm going to give a plug to your most recent book, Missions Disrupted. If you haven't read it, please, audience, get a copy, read it. It is really well done. And a big part of that book is stories. It is examples of small companies, large companies that God is using in literally every continent except Antarctica, I guess, to make a difference for the kingdom, particularly focused on the least reached and the unreached, which is our passion. Guys, get a copy of it. It's called Missions Disrupted, and it's a thoughtful, thought-provoking book. It's not an easy read, like a novel, but it's a good read. It's a healthy read. So I encourage you guys to get a copy of it. Larry and I just talked about how can we take that content and maybe repackage it in ways to get it to the next generation, which we're told doesn't read at all. Laughing about that because I saw an article today, Larry, about, and then we're getting off topic, but I don't care. Um, this woman from Harvard, a student from Harvard, talking about how they had learned to get their textbooks recorded and listen. They listen to them. They don't read either. So even Harvard, like the mothership of all learning, right? Yeah, it's like, oh my, this is amazing. So Larry, when I'll start just throw one out, but we're going to start making a list of what we think might be the characteristics of really effective BAM companies. The first one for me that I it's just for my trademark, but they are intentional. Meaning they're deliberate. They have a kingdom plan. They have a, a ministry plan. They have and God may do many other things besides what they wrote in their plan, but there's no accidentalness, if that's such a word, accidentalness to what they're doing. It seems like they sit down and they say, yeah, this is what we're going to do. I'm thinking of Don Larson, Sunshine Nut Company in Mozambique, and just that was purposeful. He knew God had told him this is what you're going to do, and he did it. And he's done many other things besides the original mandate. What do you think about that as a common trait? Who have you seen do that?
Well, yeah, that's a great word, Mike. And to me, the intentionality idea drives me back to some framework to measure that intentionality. And I love the quadruple bottom line concept. And so when I look at a business that it's showing evidence of impact and is really maybe a model company, I say, okay, can I measure intentionally the profitability or the progress toward profitability, the job creation, and the making of disciples? Now, that can be rather loose term for some people, but for me, it has to be that they know you're a follower of Jesus, and they know that's important to the business, and that can be, we can determine progress toward that. And then the last one, of course, is creation care, or the creation mandate from Genesis. Now, put all those together, they're either easy to develop a metric for, or they are more difficult, in which case we need to work on that. And as I've been writing stories on this, I find some are stronger in one area than the other, and others are vice versa. But there are a few companies that I can say really they have shown progress in all 4 areas of the quadruple bottom line. And to me, the intentionality of that, to use your term again, is that, okay, we all know we're going to develop a business plan at some point in this effort. We're also going to develop a spiritual impact plan. Or a missional plan.